All right, ladies and gentlemen, friendly reminder, you do not have a vocab quiz tomorrow because we've already finished vocab, so that's a relief. That's a positivity. Okay, so you do have a test on Wednesday, not Thursday, sorry. And let's do it. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So on Thursday, we got to the economic collapse, correct? Okay, so we start seeing banks on the run, which means banks are going to collapse. About 44% of all banks will collapse throughout the country. Do we know that? Nope, we're writing down now. So, 44% of banks close. Ladies and gentlemen, what happens if your money is in one of those banks that close? It's gone. You lost everything. Okay. What happens if that bank owns your mortgage? Does that mean you own your house? No. If you have all of your life savings in that bank, what happened to it? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. There's nothing coming back. So people lose their life savings and the economy goes into free fall because of that. So, how does the United States try to recover? So we have attempt at recovery. Attempts at recovery. The first one is what we call planned scarcity. So the U.S. government burns like fire, burns food and animals to try to drive up costs. This may surprise you. It fails horribly. Fails horribly. Makes everything worse. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it for 2 seconds. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, okay, so let's talk about why the government would do it. So planned scarcity is the whole major focus. Now, right now, we have tons and tons of wheat that no one's buying. Who can remind me why we have tons and tons of wheat that no one is buying? Why, Joey?
Because we kept on making it and England and France didn't need it.
There you go. We kept on growing it. England and France didn't need it anymore, so all of our farmers turned to wheat, and all of a sudden we have all this wheat. Well, if we have tons and tons of wheat and no one to buy, is the price up or is the price down? Down. Okay. We're also raising tons and tons of cattle because no one in Europe has any meat either. So guess what? They're buying all American meat. Well, guess what? Eventually their cattle herds are going to recover, and guess what they have now? They have plenty of cattle. So guess what they don't need? So because of that, we have tons and tons of wheat and tons of farm animals to be butchered. So when we have lots of something, is the price high or low? If we have very few amounts of things, the price goes. So planned scarcity, the U.S. government was like, you know what? If we burn the food, burn the animals, all of a sudden, something that doesn't cost very much, all the prices are going to rise, and that's going to benefit farmers. Doesn't work. However, it does exacerbate a new problem. What is this new problem? There's no food in some parts of the country because of what? Because of the Dust Bowl. So, in some parts of the country we have too much food, in other parts of the country we have not enough food. So planned scarcity is an epic failure all the way around. However, we do have a new gentleman, okay? And his name is Keynes, okay? So John Maynard Keynes. His name is up there. I know I'm in the way because I'm writing on the board, okay? He is going to, John Maynard Keynes comes up with Keynesian economics. It's named after him. He doesn't come up with it. And it is about lowering interest rates, U.S., lowering interest rates to stimulate business. Guess what works? This. It works. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been following anything with Donald Trump in a very strange move, has been talking shit about our Federal Reserve. He's the first president to really start talking lots of shit about the Federal Reserve, because the Federal Reserve is the one who's playing with interest rates. Okay? They're trying to make sure the U.S. economy stabilizes. The Federal Reserve didn't exist until after the Great Depression. Okay? So, everything the Federal Reserve does is now based on Keynesian economics. They increase, and lower the interest rates based on the needs of the economy. If the economy is booming, do we have high interest rates or low interest rates? If the economy is booming, we have high. If the economy crashes, we have low. Because, think about it, interest rates, how much you pay back on your government loans, student loans, mortgages, all of those different types of things. If the economy is doing well, theoretically you have more money in your pocket, which means the government can increase those federal loans. If the economy crashes tomorrow, how much money are you going to have in your bank? Not that much, so that's why they lower. So it's this whole migration of dealing with it. This will work. Okay, Keynesian is going to work. You also need to put a star next to it. It will be the centerpiece of FDR's New Deal. Okay, so Keynes is going to save the U.S. economy. Keynes is going to be the centerpiece of FDR's New Deal. Okay, the New Deal, and you need to write this down, the New Deal is how the U.S. government tries to stabilize socially, politically, and economically post-Great Depression. Socially, politically, and economically. Okay? So, it is done by FDR. Do you need to know? So there's a couple things that you need to know. It is done by FDR. Guess who is going to lead us in World War II? FDR. Okay, so seeing that connection. So a couple things you do need to know. This is where we get, the New Deal is where we get Social Security for the first time. You need to know that. So, what is Social Security? What is Social Security here in the United States? We have it. No one has any idea. You've heard about it. It's on like every other news broadcast. Social Security means as you get older, you pay into a fund, okay? Right now, anyone here work like a real job, like not under the table, like you get like a paycheck. Okay. You look at your taxes and you get a huge amount taken out, correct? And that really sucks. And it really does, especially when you don't make that much because you're young anyway, okay? With that being said, some of that money goes to your Social Security. So we all pay into a massive fund, so when we turn 65, the government turns around and starts writing us checks. Why? Why, Joey? So when we get old enough, we have some money. Because during the Great Depression, guess what most people didn't have? Money. So the U.S. government's like, well, shit, we can't have this happen again. We have to fix this problem. So they create Social Security so that if everyone pays into it, by the time you pay out, essentially you'll have some sort of catch retirement fund, because not everyone plans for retirement. Please plan for retirement. You don't want to depend on Social Security because it may not be there by the time you people get there. It's probably not going to be there when I get there, so it's not like I'm me against you. Okay. Second thing you do need to know, they are also in the New Deal. We have Social Security, as well as we have cultural improvement projects. Okay. So what does that mean? That means the U.S. government hires artists, writers, architects to decorate different cities and things just to give them a job. So what is the government trying to do here, ladies and gentlemen? Hello? They're trying to hire people, yeah. The government has money, but they're not just going to hand it out. They want things in return, which makes sense, correct? So because of that, they're going to start doing these cultural improvement projects where tons of like the most famous structures, like most of the bridges around Tampa are built during the Great Depression. Why are most of the bridges built during the Great Depression? Because we're trying to get Americans back to work, so we're building all these projects. Second major project you need to know is the Hoover Dam. The Hoover Dam is going to be built during this time period. That's a huge cultural project. Also your interstates, like Route 60, US 1, all of those are built during this time period. Why? Get Americans to work. That's the whole point of it. Okay, then you're going to put a big star. The only way the U.S. gets out of the Great Depression, so big star, the only way the United States gets out of the Great Depression is via World War II spending. Okay, so the official end of the Great Depression here in the United States is not Keynesian economics, it's not the New Deal. Now, do those help significantly? Yes, of course. However, it's World War II spending. What do I mean by World War II spending? Hello? What do I mean, Shannon? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, when we're in a total war effort, can every person in this economy get a job? Yes. Well, all of you gentlemen in the room would be getting trained up for war, and then if your parents let you, some of you could go to war today for 17. Some states, even 16, can go to war. So, all of a sudden, you're now collecting paychecks. Does that help your family at home who need the money? Absolutely. Imagine if you're coming from a household with 10 siblings. Guess what's going to happen to the older ones? See ya. Good luck in your home. Okay? And so we're going to see that it's going to be a major impact. Okay. All right. Skip a space, center it. All right. Bolshevik Revolution. Okay. So the Bolsheviks are in power. Who is the leader of the Bolsheviks? Lenin is now in power starting in November 1917. So Lenin is in power. Okay? You need to know that they take over Russia. Okay? They execute the Tsar and his whole family. Was it a well-orchestrated thing or a complete disaster? Complete disaster. It's a nice summer episode, it's okay? So, they eventually win the Russian Civil War in 1920. They will win the Russian Civil War. Who can tell me who's the two teams of the Russian Civil War? I taught you this last week. We have two fans. Don't tell me white versus red. What are the two teams called? The Bolsheviks versus the Mensheviks. Bolsheviks versus the Mensheviks. Okay, so here's where we really are going to get going. Here, this is new content. Lenin implements war communism. Lenin implements war communism. You need to know who is implementing what. Because Lenin's going to die here shortly, correct? Remember that? Okay, so Lenin implements war communism, which means he is going to do rapid collectivization. We've seen this term before. What does collectivization mean? What does collectivization mean? Oh God, guys. Do we have, is that time to leave, please? Alright, see you. Goodbye. Look at how much we got done. We are done with the Great Depression. How exciting. What a time to be alive. Collectivization is when the government takes over all land. We've seen it in China. Yes? Equal field system. Yes? Do we remember who did the equal field system? Tang? Yeah. By the way, your exam is accumulative. Coming. You're where?
Like everything.
Cool. You missed everything, girl. So take your tag thing. That's yours. See you too.